DIY painters. Welcome back to my channel. Today is the comparison video. Now these are the ones that I'm trying to keep it in a similar size frame of the Amazon ones that you can get, so that there's not like complaints of, well, it's so much bigger, the rendering is going to be better. I don't play that way, so let's go. Oh, fresh out the fridge, that is crispy. All right, so where are the elusive? So much like everyone else, I started out with mine were, I think, Amazon for a collection of mine. Jessie is still being rabid, as you can probably hear. Now which end? Okay, this end. No, they come out the back end, but now it's been that long. Alright. So, let's go with, I mean, I've done a few. So I don't want any fucking BS about, oh, you've not really done any, like, shut up. So, this is a 30 by 30. Let me see. Move it over a little bit. Motherfucker. This one I actually liked, but then obviously now I've upgraded. It's probably one of the better ones with, can you not play with the toy? So this is probably one I find that's a little bit better overall for the rendering than the others. This is a 30 by 40. I'm going to spin it because I think it's that way up. Yeah. These are rounds too. Oh, the evolution I've made. Oh god, I forgot about this one. So these are the very, very first ones I did. I couldn't really afford anything. I was off the arse end of being homeless. So I basically just got what I could, essentially. And I didn't know if the hobby would stick. I've done so many different crafting things over the years. This is, again, a lot of these are 30 by 40. Then I think we have a cottage. Is that what that is? I can't tell. You know, because the rendering's the exact same as a deep piss off. All right. And then, oh, we have Tower Bridge. It's a London one. This one had a good reference. Now it is a dahlia one, which I love dahlias for my gran, and I like the colours, but now that I look at it, it hurts my eyes because it's very blended. Then I have a couple of the, I've seen this one everywhere, like the amount of people I've seen that did this. Now I don't know if it's like, where did I put that other one? So this one is one of the ones that my gran left, and I mean, it's passable, I think. Let me just stand behind the camera and see what you're seeing. So that actually looks a lot neater than what it does in person. So I guess there's that. Ooh. All right. So this one's gonna be the standard, mainly because it has confetti, and I can compare it probably as comparatively. Oh, wow. Then I kind of stopped doing that. So they stay in my folder. Alright. So if I use that one as the standard. Now, again, I tried like hell to find ones in a similar size frame. Some are smaller, some are a little bit wider, XYZ. So I have a few from different brands. Now this one is Diamond Delight, and I've done a few. This was one of the first ones that they did that was more of like a full size. Again, oh, I am in frame, okay. And I'm filming on my kitchen island because it's a little bit easier if I have a big spread of items. And again, it's a little, all it is a little bit wider than this one. So we're at 31 by 32. So it's literally, there's like an inch or two in it. I haven't got my retainer on. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to fix that. My bad. I wondered why my teeth were a little bit more sensitive. So When you see it on camera, the flower one doesn't look horrendous. In real life, it looks horrendous. Like these patches here, the rendering has just been left to the computer. You could put anything. There's literally anything's just been dropped in here that makes zero sense. Like these patches and this. What even is that? There's just nothing. Here, I know it's squares, but all I do now is squares, so I don't think that would help this situation. But even with a smaller company, the rendering is still looked after and done things. So I know that you're saying that you can still do cheaper ones. Yes, you can. Go for it. But to then say that they're the exact same fucking quality is the biggest load of BS. And like when people then spend, right, this is what gets me. They'll spend and get them be so proud that they've bought 40 paintings, right, of Amazon, Temu, Shein, or whatever. It's not going to be Amazon because they're actually quite expensive these days. That and it's like, dude, you could have bought like one or two from another place that's got better quality and whatever. But because you want to churn out the shit that everyone else is doing, like I see more people doing the big Shein, Temu, whatever bollock hauls than anything else. I don't see as many. There's a lot of DSE hauls, but I guarantee you it would not stack up against the highly churned out shit, if I'm putting it frankly. So yes, this was Diamond Delights. Again, not too much different. They did do smaller ones. And even the fucking smaller one I'd be happier with than that. You have, I don't know, even with the colour blocking and the edges and the lines, everything, there's no random strays of drills or anything like that. Where are we at now? Now, oh, a little baby Muni Maid. Now this was my first Muni Maid and I freaking love it. Now this one is a 30 by 30, so technically it's smaller than this one, and you could never tell by the rendering. Like, I feel at this point I don't even have to say anything. This one, even in, excuse me, even in the background where you have the blends, essentially, the rendering has been done right. You don't suddenly have 20 different versions of brown to get. Here, you don't, like, even in the cup itself, you don't suddenly have like an overpouring. Here, there isn't that done. This wasn't that expensive. It wasn't crazy out of the way. It was so much fun to do. And I do recommend doing the smaller ones. If I always try and definitely scope out the rendering first, but these, especially Muni Maid, I found the smaller ones, and a couple more I'll go through. Really good quality. The drills as well, and what you get in the kit. And I've said that since this first Muni Maid that I've bought a few of them. I have Cute But Psycho that hangs on my wall in the area, and this one was just a cute Christmas one. But I'll hold it up. But you just can't get that with this. Even when I touch this, oh, it's like the thickest stuff. There's no softness. There's literal no softness there. All right, the next one is now I had to dig deep into my small folder for these. So this is a Mel's Diamond painting. Again, this was the first one I did. It was a freebie and I've got stuff stuck in there. Not all. Now this one is, for me, it's probably the one that could be closest, like, linked. It is on the cusp of the rendering not being looked after, right? And I'll say that honestly, I feel like I've got too many Mel's, because I used to buy from Sparkle Studios, and I know all that shit went down, so I literally threw away probably about 15 paintings that cost me the absolute fucking earth because of how all that happened and went down, and people weren't getting their refunds, and she just closed the shop unthinkingly. So, and I know Mel's was a direct competition. They had some sort of issues or whatever. I did buy Mel's, but for me, the rendering's better, but only in my eyes, only just. And this was my first impression. So I'll like as always, I'll keep it completely 100. That this has stopped me starting another one. I feel that the grid is far too small, and I know that they've gone to another supplier now, so maybe it's better. But I have bigger ones, and this was a freebie that came with those. And so once I did this, I was like, ah, shit. I wish it was more of like a wish I kind of known situation, because I probably wouldn't have bought any. Now I am curious to start one, but you know what I'm like. If I start it and it's shit and it doesn't hold up, I will throw it. Now, if I tell people, this is just a thing by the way that happened the other day. If I tell people that this is why it's not working, it's gappy, it's not going to work for me, I'm not spending double the time straightening out a 90 by 60, this was my dreamers the other day on Instagram, for you to pop up in my DMs, tell me that I'm wasting money, it's easily fixable, and that I shouldn't be doing that. A, it's my own goddamn fucking money. B, and like I said, I'm not doubling down on the time I put into it for it to then be gappy in every other place because I've straightened it out too much. There's always a payback for that when you have to straighten out so much. So don't pop off at me because it's already in trash. The drills were emptied, and I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh my god, this is amazing. If it's shit, and I will fully fucking say so. So this one, as much as I love the concept, the colours, and everything like that, if I zoom here, it's very murky. There's no, like this, there's no real definition. You've got excess that comes out, random colours. It gets away with being a pretty design that kind of balances it. But as I said, I probably wouldn't rush until I saw something really different from them, then I'd do that. Now this is an Aura Lower. This again was my first Aura Lower, so I'm going like OG, like when I first got these. So there's not been any like changes since. So yeah, so this is shipped from, I don't know if this was from the Canadian or the French. No, shit, does that mean, oh my bad, it might just be Canadian, but they're French. I don't know. Because I think they have two that they ship out of. At the time, I think I ordered my Aura Lower, I was in the UK. So I don't know where they were from. So this one, I love this one. I was very pleasantly surprised that with the quality on this, because again, you have a lot of colors, you have a lot of a design, and I thought there's no way that's going to stack up. It's not going to show. I am a sucker for a pastel rainbow sky. I will say that to the moon. But yeah, I think this one was a 30 by 32. What Muni made. And a little bit bigger, probably a 32 by 32. I love it. I annoyingly cut it too small to do anything with, so now it just sits in the folder. Again, when you look at it side by side for something of a similar shape, that's where you can see that I need it. I need my crispy Pepsi. Ooh. So yeah, so that's the issue with these, that when you put up against something that's a better quality, that's when everything kind of falls out of its ass. And I'm not saying that these are supposed to be bang on. That's everybody else saying the rendering is as neat as others, and it's fucking not. And it's not even DAC that I'm touching on. I've not touched a DAC yet. It's underneath, but I'm not compared it to a DAC yet. So for you to be ballsy enough to say that it's comparable to a DAC, you'll need to stand on that for when you hit the other brands too. So I love this one. I need to do more Aura Lower, in all honesty. They're very similar to Muni Made in terms of the kit, the canvas, the keys on the side and all that jazz. Now we're gonna hit, so these are a few Fallons. Now I've brought 3 because they're all at different timelines and different, I think they had a rejig of things in between these 2. So I have a mini. I've done about 15 of these. The rose one is my favorite. Again, very clear. I know it's smaller, but again, smaller means it's harder for the rendering to stand on its own. I don't have any issues with that one in comparison. I'm hoping this one's still in. It's just me looks like it's over here. I'm trying to get the hang of not being overhead. You better not be climbing out that window. She's way too quiet. So then there's this one. Now this one I brought out because of the way that, and I know I've spoken about this before, that I love orange. So when this was sent to me, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be exciting. This part here with the orange flowers, that is why I brought it out, because it blends too much into the background. So you end up losing, does that make sense there? That you end up losing the like shape and definition. Would I still prefer it to this one? Yes. I mean, they fit so neat on this one. I was scared of pop-up, but it didn't actually happen. Hey, baby. You over there, the birds? The big birds. Yes, girl. And look at itchy body. It's so fucking weird. So, ma'am. Oh, hey, baby. What's the matter? What's the matter? I'm doing a video. Oh, baby. Oh. All right. Why do you have to come over? So jealous of each other. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's not the best when it comes to rendering, but again, I'd still put it above this one. And at the end, I am probably going to do a which stars I would go to for a rendering. All right, now this is the most recent Fallons I did, and I know it's way bigger, but it does show like an improvement in the rendering overall. It's not so cramped and kind of squashed together. You have more definition in outlines now too, that again aren't so tight as what they were in the orange. So again, brands do work on improvements too, and I know a couple of the ones I've already mentioned have as well. And again, it's still fucking better than that shite. All right. This one's definitely going to be a oops, I swear, in this video. All right, now this one is by my friend Keela McGee, and it's Baby Scrub. Is it Baby Scrub? Yeah. Now this was a replacement for a that moth one I did. The black drills weren't sitting and they were popping, and they were the wrong size. And this was the replacement. Again, they were really fair in shipping out another one, and the quality of this one is unreal given the layers and what we have. So even when I'll move this plug, so even when you compare it to this one, again, I know it's a little bit bigger. I don't have everything 30 by 40 anymore. This one's a 40 by 40, so still you're in the same kind of height range, and you have the upgrade, you know, like it's very, very apparent. And again, this one was really nice to work on. The blends in the colors work so much better too than this one. But hey, what do I know? They're all apparently the same league. Oh my god, beautiful. Now I'm just talking shit, whatever. Let's put them in a stack. Now these are Dreamers. So these are 2 that, again, I like to do the smaller size of Dreamers these days, so the 40 by 40s. They're both, are they both Artify, or is one Artify? Yeah, so this top Be Happy is Artify. I love the colors. And again, when you look down on it, as I'm looking through the camera now, it just looks so good. And then you have, I brought it out because of, again, the blend. You don't have a drastic kind of turn from each color into the next. There's no overspray of random ass drills. or anything like that, and it makes sense as it goes into one, and it just builds the picture as you expect. Now this one of my all-time favorites, and I argued with a woman on Facebook over this one, because she couldn't, right, no offense to her, or offense at this point, she was rude, she couldn't put the drills down straight enough, and she was blaming the painting, she was blaming how it was done, and I'm like, seriously. So I kind of told her, I said, the way you're putting it down is making it bad, and now you're making it everybody else's problem, when really you shouldn't be off-putting people from a painting that's actually really, really nicely done. I love, like, so here I brought it out because of the leaves, and of the actual tree, the Christmas tree. So even the spray of the greens and the browns isn't as abstract, but it makes sense. It builds the picture up rather than just, it looks like these drills were thrown on rather than actually placed, which you kind of don't realize until you bring it up against other quality. And again, one of my favorites. Now I'm going to bring it up finally against the DAC, because that's what originally this poster did. Now again, I don't have the smallest of DACs. Celeste is one of my smallest. Again, she's hung up in my art area. I've had to take her down. Like, why are we even fucking doing this? So I get, like, here again, the blend, right? This is the bit that the cheaper ones will never ever get. It isn't just a fucking woo and like hope for the best when the blend is concerned. It has to kind of meld in and then build the actual painting, not just fucking shit out drills and then hopefully fucking let's pebble dashed on. Like, I can't even, like, what's this group here? What is that? Anybody know? Anybody? So I get, if your point is to say that the Shein, Temu, whatever are cheaper, yes, correct, they are. They have to be. Like, that's how, I mean, that's how their market has been built. And then, so for me, this trying to make the similarity or the massive comparison between how this is on par with this, you need to shut your face. Because if you're being honest, these are heavily churned out, cheaply made, cheaply produced. And if I guarantee you're still paying way more than what it actually costs to make them. So as much as you're bitching about the price of a DAC, which we know they're made in the same area, whatever, at least the quality stands up to that price, right? And I'll say that 10 toes down. Hey, when did you where is she? I'm just sorry. I'm looking over in the distance over here, and I've noticed she's torn a toy apart. But fucking hell, there's more shit I have to pick up. But yeah, this, to say that they're both made in China, we all know that at least this one, for the price markup, has the quality. This one, for the price markup, has none. And you're lying if you think there isn't a price markup. I don't care how cheap they are, they're still a shit ton cheaper being made. At least this one, in my eyes, has the quality. That one doesn't. And that's how I'm leaving it. I mean, I've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different companies, and 8 including DSE, in comparison to this, and even the worst shit all over this thing. There we go. That's my TED talk of, do not be, I get that you're telling all your gals to buy more massively produced shit, but I'd rather buy more massively produced good shit, if that makes sense, than bad shit. Bad doo-doo. That's all I'm going with. All right, I hope that was helpful. I hope you all understand where I'm coming from. Because just don't fucking lie to people is essentially my story. My God, is my point. There we go. just don't lie and say they're the same quality, because they're really not in comparison to any brand at this point. Now I get to put all these away. All right, thanks guys. I hope you're not too offended by my swearing, but there we go. Job's a good one. And I will catch you on the flip.